before you got there, you have been trying to prove that I'm not. Where did I get you wrong, Dingling? Hmm? Where did I get you wrong? Watch. Things I say here today, she's going to spew back out to you in the next couple videos. Because the goal is to not be able to tell the difference between me, another person, and her. She does it to everybody. Let me catch a breath here because my blood pressure is just banging in my head right now. You used the death of a dead Marine of Malipoo who was tortured into self-harm, and you have made a parody, a comedy, a joke out of it ever since. That's what you're doing. You're mocking that poor guy. And if you think you're going to get a dime out of that, you'll have to get over my dead body to collect anything. Telling people you talk to their dead loved ones. Nobody ever heard anything out of you about being a guided, meditation specialist, or a hypnotist, or somebody who takes care of the elderly, or you're a broker for dying people who need recovery, so you can put them in a cage that the state freaking subsidized, so you can get your cut. It's damn what you do. It's the piece of it. You're trying to play dominatrix games online, Maliboo, with people like DFK. You humiliate him in a public forum with your better than thou dissertation about his alcohol consumption, when really that's part of a contract like that. Anybody, just Google a dominatrix contract with her sub and apply the rules of the contract to what Maliboo does online. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah. Yes. First piece of
so is this Bar Q? Is that a real person with somebody's baby's picture on there? Is that you? Because I can't believe people are that dumb to even fall for the crap anymore.
Thank you.
Only predators and perverts back you up. Are you talking about the shelter you worked at allegedly that had 20 cats at a time? So you profile for men with losses, veterans with money. You use dead people, your own family members. You tell people you hope your ancestors and your family members are out as poltergeists, creating chaos in other people's lives. Maliboo, should I read out of one of the books you probably have where all casting that comes like that from Grimoire is done under the Trinity? So you praying about people is just casting a spell on them, Maliboo? Mm-hmm. You work for attorney. You manufacture your freakouts around your lectures to get a bargain around people that only know that you're talking to them because, they talk to you. Or they know you heard what they said in the prior video. You go after people who are sick, who you think are not going to fight back against you. And you go after people that walked away from you, and you are bound and determined to break up friendships of people who freaking booted you. You defend a guy that talks about incest porn. And you make jokes about kid stalking. That shit's funny, right? You wanted the bitch. You got her.
Yeah. No.
I'm going to do what made your head explode and give all your newbies that don't know why your head exploded, why I don't co-sign your garbage, and why you don't matter in the bigger scheme of things, but you're predatory. You're going to keep adding names to your list. What, do you get paid for each name you put on your list? Huh? Are there gold stars for anybody after the number 23? Huh? Do you get a commission? Brokering your abuse of other people to your weird cult? Huh? You better go get some ice. This is going to hurt.
Power continue to assist this lady, never strike everyone that will.
Why are you talking about everybody else's life, Maliboo? None of your fucking business. To protect people on a general level is one thing, but Maliboo, you got a bloodlust. You get other people to be mad at other people who wouldn't be mad at them if it's not for you. What are you gonna do, Malibu? Call me ugly? Tell me I look like an alien? Or I'm the child of an alien in the cactus, Malibu? You a jackass. So Malibu, why do you spend all your time trying to convince people that everything that I talked about on the channel that had nothing to do with you before you got there, you have been trying to prove that I'm not, and you will. I don't gotta convince people. So you rally behind a guy who masturbates online, several of them, records it, and loses his mind when somewhere how it gets out there. Uh, you see, I can put myself in the shoes of some of these other women because these men treated them like blow-up dolls, like just a repository for every pervert thought they ever had. You know, a hole in a heartbeat. And because that particular blow-up doll in their heads to them was spouting out what they needed to hear, well, the wallet opened because the ego got pumped along with something else. So you're going to rally behind the dude who paid for what he got what he paid for, and is pissed off because he doesn't have access to it anymore or he can't control it, and then proceeds to go after said women when he's the one on camera. Then you're going to lecture those women about don't do sex things with some weird story about your escort days? How would that compromise you, Malibu? Somebody go, but that's my personal opinion. That don't make you weird. Talking about your bowel movements and equating them with a sexy allure. Yeah, that's not weird. And Malibu, here's just a little clue. Why do you got to keep bringing up donkey screwing? Because I'll let people in on a little tip here. Because it's been so long, they've forgotten. See, there, when I was naive and I trusted people wouldn't try to go out of their way to hurt. There's a photo of me on a cruise where you get to the port and you pay the guy that has the donkey shelter $20 so you can sit on a chair and take a picture of yourself with a baby donkey. This is what this witch has turned it into. Women going down to Mexico and bestiality. You think women should keep their hair long? And what you'd like to do to me with it, right, Malibu? Didn't you tell people that? So, and bestiality. You think women should keep their hair long, Malibu? Especially those that, for whatever reason, couldn't. I think by now people know that when you sit in front of a phallic cactus, it's a phallic cactus. And what you'd like to do to me with it, right, Maliboo? Didn't you tell people that? Your head hurt yet? Better get some ice.
And
you grovel at the feet of perverts and dirtbags, Maliboo, for attention. Unbelievable. You made me right again. You profile people with special needs, adults.
Actually, so let's say we got dance pop and we did it.
Another question, Malibu. Why do you talk to your audience and your subscribers like they're toddlers? Who are you broadcasting to, Malibu? I'm about done because I've said enough to make you lose your crap for what, 4 or 5 days? You profile other people's dead loved ones so you can exploit them for your own personal.
Whoa, I don't think I've ever seen
You
that.
rode the back and are still riding the back of a Marine who served his country so he could protect those that couldn't protect. He couldn't be protected from the monsters, but he was going to protect those he could from the monsters. And you have been writing that poor dead guy's obituary, his story, for how long now? That is the foundation for peace. The fact that you had to go around to 6 other women already legally declared what you coveted so much so you could sit online and abuse people. This is not abusing you. This is just giving people my side of the story. Remember? I never called you anything worse than a jackass dingling. This is what you're building your case on, Malibu? You know, you should be sending these women thank you cards for helping you get your disability, you jackass, because you stole part of their lives to do it. And you're welcome. I know the clincher. I know the clincher was the neuropathy, you know, not being able to hold on to things. But don't worry, Malipoo. The cat doesn't come in here, so there's no chance of him or her eating a raisin, a thumbtack, a paperclip that I dropped. Don't worry. Tag's not running the shelter. She's just feeding animals so the family could stay together, you know. But you would rather take that cat food for you away from those cats while you starve yours. So say it again, Malipoo. You creeped me the hell out when I heard you say you were in the back of the vet's office outside smoking a cigarette, talking to your dead cat previous to help the now dying cat pass over, but you just couldn't take it. You couldn't be in the room. You just watched me and other people lose their pets, put them down, and you heard me say I had to do hospice for an animal for 7 days, Malipoo. So I could be completely crazy and this has nothing to do with me. But you know what? I got a fucking degree in Malibooski. Verbal vomit spews. You became a domestic homeland terrorist of other people's lives because people didn't want to play with Malipoo anymore. And when people heard somebody like me or other people talk about recovery, you couldn't have that, Malipoo, because that would not make you feel superior over those people dying that you have to step on to feel good about yourself, Malipoo. And if you don't get paid, well, there's nothing in it for you, because, you know, I could have made $100,000 a year doing what I was doing that you ran around the internet lying about me, right? Wonder how many kids are on your hit list, Malipoo. It's because you hate your parents. Because remember, you're the one that called CPS on Rebel, and you didn't have a problem letting the world think I did it. That could have put me in great harm's way, Malipoo, but you want me to get hurt, right? Because you keep sending men to do your dirty work. You know damn well you'd piss your pants if you were standing right next to me now. As well you should.
Well, you know, you'll see. I'll be in place, and like, I gotta go. I'm leaving right now. I'm still there. I can't leave. So, you know, but
yes, no, a lot of us do that. Not special.
I can't get away. That's why sometimes I don't come into tax. I know it's like I get stuck. I literally get stuck.
Are you stuck? I can't wait to hear you make video. Can't wait to hear my words come out of your regurgitating mouth and your threats and your barbs and your calling of your priests to rile up. Why I'm addressing other people is because you involve them in it. And I just said, I'll let them decide. So, your main targets are people who have been through hell. I don't believe you're broke. I don't believe any of the things that come out of your mouth. I'm going to keep a good eye on you, Malipoo. Better than I ever have before. I don't need other people to do for me what I can do myself. And that's telling you off since day one. From the time I heard you talk, when I heard you say that you took your boyfriend's child and was missing for hours, nobody can find you, and you did it because you were pissed off at your boyfriend. And after that little stunt, you couldn't see that child again. When you talk, I visualize you standing over your grandparents, or Arthur on the floor in an induced psychotic episode, and you screaming at him. Would you yell at him, Malipoo? All the money he went through? Nobody pays somebody like that who isn't participating in the lifestyle that you're bitching about and be in recovery and work with addicts. So basically, you cruise recovery halls, treatment centers, online groups for men. Yourself and laughing at them. What you're capable of. You come through loud and clear, Malipoo. I thought you couldn't go any lower, but you absolutely can. You are riding the coattails of a dead Marine who took his own life because his so-called friends recorded him in private conversation and passed it around the internet. And you have used that as a filler for your bullshit carny show to exploit people for their emotional wreckage, carnage, losses. All to get back at people who told you to fuck off. I dare you to take all that to a courtroom. You did it to Tretch. You've done it to a couple of them that I know of. And you go after their families. You've got an MO. And there's enough of your verbal vomit for people to dissect, fill in the blanks, and recognize their own story in your mindfuckery games. I'm not reading the chat right now. Sorry, sun's bouncing off the thing anyway. So I'm not trying to be rude and not engage. I just want to keep my line of thought here. Why don't you come find out what's buried in my yard, Malipoo? You're so big and brave. Or do you need violators of children to do for you, Malipoo? You need men to do for you what you can't do for yourself. Go after it. I don't care if you catch a date, catch a cool, catch a bus, I don't care. I would love for you to explain to the judge why you used death of a serviceman who is betrayed as your ping pong ball and your shield to hide behind. So all that crap you spewed out into a public forum, Malipoo, is not the same as what that guy went through. No, you did that, what that guy had done to him. You did that to me, and you've done that to at least 50 other people in one way or another. So I'd like you to explain to a judge how you have all the time in the world to be lower than whale shit, but you don't have enough energy to take care of your own crap. I'd like you to explain how, as a survivor, you have the right to get online and sexually harass other people. Malipoo, that makes you a predator. Now I'm calling you a predator. This is why your head exploded. This is why you needed people to come after me, because I tell you how I feel, Malipoo. I tell you what gets me. Yeah, I'd like you to explain to the judge why you had to use the death of a serviceman to try to build a lawsuit to take other people's houses and put them in jail. I would love for you to explain. Everybody else have a really nice day. Thank you for showing up. I told you, Malipoo, every day. You keep doing what you do. I'd say you should be ashamed of yourself, but you have none. How you could do this to people. You did it with Dank, saying you talked to his dead mother. No disrespect, Dank. You did it to other people. You're so worried about proving me wrong, you make me right every day. I don't even got to break a nail or sweat to piss you off.